Um, Hello children. So we have come to the second video where we will be learning about the rest of the subtopics of the circulatory system. So let's see what is stored for you people in this video. So now let's see what are the objectives of today's video. To learn the different types of bones that are there in the skeletal system. The first one being the skull, the second one being the backbone or the spine, and lastly we have the rib cage. So first we'll be learning about the skull. As you can see that the skull composes mainly the topmost part of the skeletal system. It is what our face is actually made up of, and apart from giving a facial feature to the human body, it has lots and lots of functions. It is protecting a number of delicate organs. Like we have brain, one of the most major important organs of the human body, because if this gets injured, obviously there is immediate death to a human being. It also protects our eyes, one of the most important organs. It protects the nose. Okay, we have inside the nose there are special organs that actually helps us to smell things. It also protects the ears, because inside these ears there are some small bones and organs that actually helps to hear. All right, so it is the opening through which food is taken in. Okay, so the opening of the digestive system is through it is situated in the skull itself. So it is also important in matters of ingestion or eating for the digestive procedures. And if we take the skull itself is made up of 22 bones. Okay, out of which there are 8 large and flat bones. These large flat bones here, they will make up the cranium part. Okay, the round head part of the skull is made up of these 8 large and flat bones. And remember this, if you can see, there are some, if you can look at the picture where I'm showing you, there are joints are shown on the skull. Okay, so these joints are nothing but they are different plates of bones that are fused together. So in case of the babies, what happens is when the baby is very young, they're not exactly fused, they stay a bit apart from each other. So when the baby starts to grow and becomes an adult, what happens, these plates slowly come together and they start to fuse. All right, so when they fuse, these fissures or these lines, that it stays behind. Okay, so all we get to see are the lines where the bones were once separate, but now they have joined. Apart from that, we have 14 bones that form the face. So this part of our face is composed itself of 14 bones. All right, so you can see here the front view of the skull I have given you, and also a lateral view, so you'll get an idea. Now all parts of the skull is immovable. Okay, none of the part of the skull is movable except this lower jaw. Okay, except this part. Okay, so see, look at me when I'm talking. Is my upper jaw movable? No, the upper jaw is always fixed. This jaw, if you look at the picture I'm showing you, this jaw, this part of the jaw is fixed. This is the upper jaw. Okay, if you want to know what is the upper jaw called in the scientific term, it is called maxilla. What is it called? Maxilla. I'll write down, it's just for an added information. Okay, it's called as maxilla. Wait, I'll use a black one. And if you look at the lower jaw, the lower jaw is actually called as the mandible. All right, so these are the names of the two things. And mandible only, see, my lower jaw is movable. Clear? So because of the lower jaw, we can eat and we can talk. All right. All right, so I'll try my best to, if you would just be patient with me. Yes. Now, the next topic that we are having is the backbone or the spine. All right. Now, as you can see that the backbone or the spine is what forms the what I can say, it's kind of a pillar of the human body. All right, the ability for the human beings to stand upright, okay, to be upright in this posture is due to this long chain of bones. Okay, it's not one continuous bone. Backbone is not one continuous bone. It's a series of bones that are together, and that is flexible, okay, that moves, due to which we are getting the ability to bend backward, to twist, okay, and to do the side bending. This is the ability of the backbone. Now, what is backbone? It is actually a composition of 33 small bones. This is which is called as a vertebrae. Together it is called as a vertebrae. AE. When you see this term AE, that means it is plural. All right. See, each of these bones, if you look at the screen, I'm highlighting them and showing it to you. Each of these bones, these are individual sections, and these are vertebra. Okay, and when they come together in one long chain, they are together called as a vertebrae. All right, and the column is also called as vertebral column. You can also say vertebrae, vertebral column, spinal column. It has a lot of names. All right, now what is the primary function of the vertebral column? Okay, the primary function of the vertebral column is that it protects our delicate spinal cord. Now you must be wondering, what is a spinal cord? It's just a big um, long tail-like structure that arises from here. Okay, it arises from the base of the skull and continues up to your lower back, and from the spinal cord a series of nerves arises. Okay, series of nerves will arise from both the parts, from both sides, and it gets spreaded to the different body parts. Okay, like my ability to move the hands, okay, to move the hands, my ability to twist and turn, the fact that I am being asked by my brain to twist my body, to move my hands, these are all due to the nerves. Okay, the nerves send signals to the body to do various functions, and these nerves arise from the spinal column that is inside the vertebral column. So we can say that spinal cord is very, very important, and therefore it needs a lot of protection. That is why the vertebral column looks so sturdy. Okay, it's because it has to protect the delicate spinal cord. See, it's already written, uh, from the spinal cord bundle of nerves arises, okay, which sends messages from the brain to the different parts of the body. Now if you look at the blackened picture of the spinal cord, you must be wondering that between the two bones there is a space. Can you see a transparent space is there? So actually that space is not completely empty. Okay, if you look at this rotating picture, you will see that between the two vertebrae there is a groove like structure. Okay, so these grooves, these are filled with special cartilages. Okay, they are circular in nature. These are called as a vertebral disc. Okay, I will write it down for you. They are called as they are called as vertebral disc. Okay, so these vertebral discs, these are cartilages. They are spongy in nature. Okay, and they actually help us in you know, when the spinal cord is bending back or bending uh, forward and backward, these cartilages actually cushion the bones. Because see, when you take two stones and rub them against each other vigorously, what happens? After some time, the bone starts to erode away. Okay, you will see parts of the bones will start falling apart. So it is the same in case of the bones. Bones are made up of minerals like calcium. So if the two bones, they rub against each other, what will happen? The part of these bones will start to get damaged. As a result, vertebral discs, these are made of cartilage. Cartilage, you know, see, can you see my ear? You can fold your ears, isn't it? Or if you take your nose, you can, if you feel the tip of the nose, they're exactly not very hard, but they're not very soft also. So these part of the nose, our ears, these are made up of special things called as cartilages. I'll write down the name again. Okay, children, see, these are extra information. Okay, it's not necessary that you have to learn them, but these are all extra information. So these cartilages, what they do is they fill up the gaps. They fill up the gaps between the vertebral bones, and as a result, when there is a lot of movement of the vertebral column, the bones stay protected. Okay, all right. Let's see what is our third topic. Very interesting topic, the rib cage. All right, let's see what the rib cage has to offer. So as you can see towards the left hand side of your screen, the rib cage looks very weird, isn't it? It has a series of curved bones, okay, and they are coming and joining together in a one central bone. So the rib cage has 12 pairs of bones. Okay, as you can see, this is how exactly the rib cage will look like. So this is a moving version of the skeletal system. It actually goes and attaches itself at the backbone. All right. So total there will be 12 pairs of rib cage bones. Okay. See, these are individual ribs like this. So this one and one, one and one, these are actually pairs. This is a pair, this is a pair, this is a pair. Okay, so these are pairs. Each bone is known as a rib. So this one, this one, this one, these individual bones, they are known as a rib. The ribs are joined to the breastbone in the front. So can you see this? So this is called as breastbone, or there is a scientific name to this breastbone. We call them as sternum. All right. So breastbones or sternum is the middle bone that exists here, and what happens is first 10 pairs, okay, they attach themselves to the front of the I'll show you. The first 10 pairs, they will attach themselves to the sternum or the breastbone at the front, and then at this vertebral column at the back. Okay, only the last two pairs of the ribs, known as the floating ribs, are not attached to the breastbone. Okay, can you see? Look closely here. See, can you see? Look at my pointer. Can you see these last two ribs? These last two ribs, can you see they have only arose from the backbone, but they are not attached to the sternum at the front. So that is why, since they are not attached to the front of the rib cage, that is with the sternum, they are known as the floating ribs. So you know what is the function of this rib cage? So as the name suggests, rib cage, it's a cage-like structure that protects the two most vital organs. That one is the heart and second is the lungs. And you will also see when you breathe in and breathe out, when you're doing this exhale and inhale of the normal, when you're normally breathing in and breathing out, you can almost feel your rib cage expanding when you're breathing in and the rib cage collapsing when you are breathing out. So the expansion and the collapsing of the rib cage actually helps us in the breathing. So rib cage also contributes a part to the breathing, apart from the protection of the heart and the lungs. All right. Okay. So let's see what we have next. Okay, this is an added information. See, if we breathe deeply in and out, as I as I could tell you before, as I told you before, that we can easily feel our ribs a few inches above our heart. So if we like completely exhale, take out as much air as you can from your mouth, expel forcefully, our rib cage, our bones, these bones, they come very close to the heart. They're inches above our heart. And if you can put your hand on the side of your body, on the side of your body line, you will be able to feel your own ribs. Okay, you will feel as if they're directly above your skin. All right, so I guess I hope that you have understood whatever I had to tell you about these three vital or skeletal organs. Okay, I would not say skeletal or organs, I would say skeletal bones. That is the skull. Then next we learned about the vertebral column or the backbone, and third we had the rib cage. Okay, these are very vital bones or the structure of bones or group of bones that are required for our body's main framework. All right, so I'll meet you in the next video, and I have more things to share, and I'm sure you'll be very much what to say, intrigued and interested to know a lot more about the skeletal system.